Is Joy Taylor right about the oldest profession and relationships? Grab your stick, grab your drink. Let's get into this thing right now.
Pop it, smoke it, drink it down. With your voice, it got Jeff around. Feel the vibe, we're set to roll. Press play, let's lose control. Sip a drink and smoke will swirl. Join the convo around the world. Relationships we dissect slow. Current events, we let them flow.
What up? What up? What up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you. And y'all know what it is. It's Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. Of course, I'm the real cigar. Jeff, y'all do me a favor, man. Get below in the description, man. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on the social, support the channel. Y'all know the routine, man. But before I get into this thing about Joy Taylor talking about the oldest profession in the world, and y'all know what it is. I can't say certain words on YouTube, but the oldest profession in the world could make a breakthrough in relationships. I said, Lord, we got to get into this thing. I said, and y'all know, whenever I do a conversation on relationship, I got to bring in the resident relationship expert that'll introduce herself. Tell y'all where y'all can tell y'all what she's sipping on tonight.
At least you didn't add any more titles to my
Not
title.
tonight. Not
Yeah,
tonight.
I don't know what you're gonna get tonight out of me,
Not
but
tonight.
anyway, got my what am I supposed to say? Oh, I'm drinking on some
Yeah.
Bailey's cookies and creamery. Like for real, this bottle is almost gone. So if y'all see me pour, that's my business. While we up here talking about the oldest profession,
Yes,
I
yes,
may have
yes.
to fill it up. I may have to step away, get some ice.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry about
Hey, hey, Goose Lane, you know, they going through some stuff up there in Charlotte right now, but she gonna power through it for the sake of y'all, for the
it.
sake of my viewers and of my listeners. Appreciate you being on, man. Y'all, tonight I'm smoking the Avo Sync Nicaragua, man. I got these for the golf tournament. I was just said, if y'all follow me on the social, y'all can see we just had our golf invitational tournament. And of course, you know, don't judge me, but bruh, we had Good Boy vodka that support that sponsor, and I'm drinking that Good Boy vodka
Is it
strawberry
good?
lemonade. Oh
I
my
know they
God, it's so
sponsor. I
good.
think you supposed to say yes.
No, I can tell you they good.
They
I'm
are.
all in the camera. I'm all in the camera like
Liquor
that.
store, or you could get them
Anyway,
from like your regular grocery
down
store.
here, down here you get them from the down here we get them from the. I want to say they got them at Circle K and then Total Wine.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but yeah, so they not mass produced yet like your High Noon
Oh,
and your
okay.
Surfside and White Claws. But man, there's no carbonation, strawberry lemonade, and I normally don't drink sweet drinks with my cigar, but this thing is good. So I had to get into this thing right now. Guys, we gonna jump right into this thing. Ron, appreciate you being on. As
Hmm.
the people say in the old black church, we not gonna hold y'all long tonight, but I had to get on and discuss this. I had to get on and discuss this. Guys, Joy Taylor has been on one, guys. She is not hiding or running away from the accusations of her behavior. If y'all not familiar, y'all know now Joy Taylor, FS1, got caught up in some of the harassment lawsuits at FS1. We found out she was having relationships with some of the talent at FS1, as well as the VP of FS1. So she's clearly, uh, she's clearly a person who was comfortable with her choices in physical activity and that kind of thing. So and y'all can see that I'm trying my best because like I said, YouTube got rules, so we got to make sure we avoid it. But y'all know what I'm getting at. And the reason I like Joy Taylor, sorry guys, y'all probably can't hear me, but uh, the reason I like Joy Taylor is if y'all follow my other channel, Jeff Sunday Service, I think Joy Taylor is going to be responsible for making females stop going to church. On my other channel, Jeff Sunday Service, we talk about how things in the world are affecting attendance at church. And when somebody like Joy Taylor, and y'all know this is Jason Taylor's sister, Jason Taylor, who's played for the Jets and the Dolphins. Again, she's a host on Speak
Hmm.
on FS1. Ron, I'm telling you, this is making big time news because when women start talking like men, this is a serious dynamic shift. This ain't a man saying this, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very well known, attractive woman. I don't know how many men would say Joy Taylor is not somebody I would get down with.
Mm-hmm.
So when you hearing something like this, Rhonda, what she's saying is that for some of these lonely guys, and we're gonna get into the article, guys, some of these lonely guys,
Mm-hmm.
and the premise of what she basically saying is these lonely guys need to go out and be able to just have access to the oldest profession in the world because they not gonna get anybody, right? So y'all know what I do, and I kind of went on a ramble right there. But Rhonda, when you got tonight's topic, what's kind of the first thing that came to your mind? I forget to ask you that. I forget to ask you that. We've been going through some stuff, yeah. We're going through stuff. We're dealing with stuff right on the podcast.
No, I think, to be honest, when you say she's speaking more like a man, you know, like as far as like how she's speaking about the things that she's speaking about with the
Mm-hmm.
oldest profession, based on what she said in the other one that we did with how man of God now is a red flag for her.
Yes,
I
yes.
could see why she's saying what she's saying now, because if that's how guys are coming at you and they calling themselves men of God and stuff like that, she should be okay with saying what she's saying now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is they gonna be disrespectful? So she's like, you know what? Let me tell you what I want then. Let me tell you what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
not in a disrespectful way, but just in a matter of fact way. But I'm not under the guise of using Jesus or God to do
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm just telling you what I want, instead of trying to get with me under the guise of being a Christian or a leader in the church and all that good stuff.
Yes.
So I mean, you know, look, I'm
Yes.
here for it. I just think the only part with the lonely men is that it's a lot of serial killers out here. Because they
Yeah,
mad
that's
because
true.
they can't get some, right? They mad. So
That's
you know,
that's true.
you just gotta choose wisely with that, right? And it's like, maybe I watch too many crime shows, and I know I do, but that's my business. But I think
But I'm
other
right there
than
with
that,
you.
they're
But
not
Rhonda,
gonna get it nowhere else.
I think you just made a point though. And I'm out here talking to the fellas because guess what, guys? I believe women are so hungry for real
Hmm.
masculinity
Absolutely.
that now it's just not being met in the marketplace. And I'm not talking. What I like about what Joy Taylor did is she's minimizing the physical nature of it.
It should be
Yeah, yeah.
minimized
Right, that's what I like about it. She minimized it. Like, man, y'all just go over there
unless
and
it's
do
assault, right? But if it's
it.
just good old human to human,
And guess what? If I don't
yeah.
have the capacity to do a relationship, if I don't have the capacity to give you that extra that you need, that's fine. Okay,
Hmm.
go get that over there. That's a transaction, guys.
But
And one of the things
that's a natural bodily function too. It's a
I
natural
agree.
bodily function,
I agree, right?
right
One
up
of the
there with
things
pooping.
but guess what, right? If you saw somebody, like Rhonda just said, right up there with pooping, right? Y'all know sometimes you go to it ain't a whole lot of people. You can go to some people places and they'll have a candle that you can light when you go in there. Sometimes you don't need no candle, right? Same thing with taking a bath, right? You can set the mood and all. Sometimes you don't need all that, right?
Oh man.
And, but my point to you guys is, Joy Taylor might be affecting relationships at a higher level because if she's saying it, guys, and y'all got to understand, this is the one thing why in certain countries they don't let women go into business. They don't let women work. They don't let women. If a she is accused of sleeping with the VP, the top dog at Fox Sports, that's what she's accused of to get her position.
So nothing has
Y'all
been
don't.
proven. Nothing has
Well,
been
it's
proven.
all alleged. It's all
Oh,
alleged,
okay. I
right?
just want to make sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now they say it's true. They say it's true based on some of the things in court documents. But we on this podcast, it's
We ain't
alleged.
talking about that. Mm-hmm.
We ain't talk, but why am I telling y'all this? A woman always gonna pick up a system quicker than a man. The reason why I believe that Joy Taylor's alleged accusations have a high likelihood of being true is how she talking now. Because she is in the boardroom, she's talking like guys in the boardroom talk in corporate America. If you've never worked in corporate America and have never been in that boardroom, that's what she's talking like. And I think her podcast is really showing y'all that, yeah, Is it a possibility that I did that to get the job? Yeah, but I also learned what they were saying. I also know how they do business now. I'm telling y'all how they talk now,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm telling y'all this is what happens behind the scenes, and that's why their relationships are not in trouble and yours is. See what I'm saying, Ron?
Yeah.
I think that she is so confident in the fact that I always have Rhonda on my podcast because me and Rhonda got a relationship where we just don't lie to each other. We just gonna be straight up with each other.
Yeah.
But I can tell you like this. But I can tell you like this, Rhonda. I think what she's letting everybody know is only people in the bad relationships judging what she got to say, because people who are in truthful relationships, like, yep, what she said is true, and that's why I think right now tradition and religion is dying in America,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why Joy Taylor can come out and say this. And what's the consequences? What's the
But
consequences, Ron?
again, right? But if allegedly what they say has happened,
Mm-hmm.
right? Being in a human relationship with somebody, because I don't know if we could say the word intimate, but being in a
Mm-hmm.
human relationship with somebody, what then I always say there's a transfer, that transfer of energy, transfer of like that persona of each person, right? That's why
Mm-hmm.
you got to watch what you do, right? And I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
she does allegedly could feel emboldened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is, it ain't, listen, when you got me and PB used to being VIP everywhere we go,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we look for that thing now, like, okay, where our chicken at? Where the wall of candy at? What you mean ain't no wall of candy?
Right?
You know what
But
I'm
you
saying?
preaching though. You
But like,
preaching though, because
but it's like, okay, I done got access to this now, so I do feel empowered. And what you mean you don't need all that? You ain't had it in.
or what you mean you gonna put me in bondage.
Mm-hmm.
What
Because of
you
your
mean you
lack
gonna
of
put me
vision.
in your traditional or religious mindset
Mm-hmm.
about what you got taught wrong about it? I done been in the most powerful company,
Yes,
sports
you can't go
company in the
back.
world room, and they don't talk like that. And
Mm-mm.
what I learned is in those rooms, they don't lie to each other.
Yeah.
In those rooms, they don't lie to each other. Guys, the way she's talking, and I'm getting animated because more and more religion and tradition is dying, and people cannot tell you that what Joy Taylor is saying is a lie. It used to be your tradition and your religion would make you act like she didn't say it or somebody would condemn her. But now,
Mm-hmm.
guys, in the podcast world, in the digital media world, so many people are tired of dealing with relationships. If y'all get somebody a glass of
Traditional
wine or a
relationships.
cocktail, yes, they tired of
Traditional.
these traditional relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, look, Joy Taylor is giving me good content. Okay. I ain't telling y'all I agree with her. I ain't telling y'all I disagree with her. The reason why I told me and Rhonda were talking, I said, Rhonda, we got to talk about this. When I told her what we are going to talk about,
Mm-hmm.
because guys, let me tell y'all something. If you are if you trying to maintain a traditional relationship, good luck. And I ain't even talking about this oldest profession in the world stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about truth stuff. Because now your grandmother, your great grandmother, your grandfather, your great grandfather, your mother, your father didn't have this digital media information age truth,
Mm-mm.
right? So as long as I can control your environment, I can control what you got taught about these things called relationships.
And it's right at your fingertips, right? Like
Yes, yes.
our great grands and grands, right? Like, yeah, our granddad had a car, but I'm sure before then he was walking probably to go
He was
see
walking,
our grandmother,
walking,
right?
or
Our
taking the
dad,
bus.
our dad would probably get dropped off at my grandma's house to
Mm-hmm.
spend time with our mom and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably didn't have anything until later on. Like, and they still found a way, right? Like
Yes.
it's just what it is. And now since all of this is at our fingertips, it's like, hmm.
But I'm gonna say this to y'all too before we get into the article. I know I've been saying we're gonna get into the article. One of the things y'all got to understand is in the industrial age, what really separated people in the industrial age was the poor embraced being poor, and the rich were rich. And what you were trying to do was get into the middle class, right? If you were poor, you were never trying to be rich. You were just trying to get into the middle class. You were trying to pay your bills and have something left over. Why am I saying that to you guys? Nobody in digital media now want to be broke. Nobody's embracing being poor. Growing up, oh, you're salt of the earth. You're the people. You're the backbone. You're the good ones. You're going to heaven. They're mean. They're bad. They're building everything off of your back. You don't want to be like that. Now, Rhonda, everybody trying to do business. And when I say everybody trying to do business, majority of people are like, nah, bruh, I want to go viral. I want to make this money. Ain't nobody trying to have just enough no more. You
Hmm.
talk to anybody who's saying I just want to have enough, get away from them. Go ahead, Ron.
Well, and that's why it translates into people's relationships. They doing just
Mm-hmm.
enough, right? And
Yes.
I sent you a reel last night. Then I sent you a reel last night that had you like, I can't do that,
Mm-mm.
right?
Mm-mm. I ain't
Right.
gonna show that on the
But
podcast.
their relationship is different, right? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
also how they make their money.
Money. Yes.
Because guess what?
Yes.
I'll do this if this gonna get some clicks and get some.
If it's gonna get some clicks,
Yes, and
guys.
you ain't told the people on the other end what's happening, so you get that authentic.
Absolutely.
You know what's
Absolutely.
happening, but they don't know what's
Mm-hmm.
happening. That stuff
Mm-hmm.
is like the best clickbait ever.
Yes. And one of the things we want y'all to see, guys, is Joy Taylor right? And I think me and Rhonda both gonna tell y'all yes, because in essence, guys, when she talks about these lonely guys, I ain't never had nobody put it in perspective the way she did. Because basically, what guys, let me tell you this: women ain't just settling no more. Women ain't settling no more. Women are out here telling you unapologetically what they want. And I don't think guys have been raised to deal with that. And I think you got some guys who are just saying, look, I'm gonna go be a passport bro. I ain't doing like they just people don't know how to date no more. This generation like it social media is making it so people can't interact no more. So let's get into this article, Rhonda, because I know me and
Mm-hmm.
you could go all night on this, and I told Rhonda I wasn't gonna keep her long.
Exactly.
You know how that goes.
I know. I know.
So let's get ahead, guys. We over here at the Daily Mail. Joy Taylor claims oldest profession in the world should be legal. An astonishing rant. Non-peak getting male lonelies. Guys, controversial Fox presenter Joy Taylor has made another lurid claim about X on her newly relaunched Too Personal podcast after revealing in recent episodes that she needs to have X every day and that she is open to dating men as young as 25. Taylor, 38, has now said that the world would be better if the world's oldest profession was legalized. And y'all can see it in the article. Discussing her views with guest and fellow podcaster Van Lathan, Taylor said, I think that male loneliness is a massive effing problem. That's what I want to do this podcast on, guys. Don't get caught up on the oldest profession comments. Look at what she said is the problem. Male loneliness. Here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say, go ahead, Ronnie. You about to say something?
No, but I'm saying like when you think about it, whether these men are single or married, it seems like they're lonely either way. So even if they are in quote unquote a real relationship, it seems like from what I've learned that intimacy is gone even in a marriage, even though you have someone there
Even
right
though
beside
somebody
you.
is there,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean just because somebody's there doesn't mean they're present,
Yeah,
right? Doesn't mean they're
absolutely.
present. Now, when I saw this, guys, what I'm trying to tell y'all is this: she said male loneliness. She didn't say female loneliness,
And she said
right?
no P. She said no P
She said
getting.
no P getting,
Yes.
right? No P getting. Male loneliness and no P getting. Here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. When I saw that term male loneliness, I said, you know what? You got guys out here who are putting too much burden on the woman. Guys, what she's telling you is, it's not my job to be your friend. Your job is to go out, be the provider, be the hunter, do all that kind of stuff. But I ain't here to cure your loneliness. And guys, let me
And
tell
I'm not
y'all,
here to make the hard decisions.
guys,
That's your
absolutely,
role.
guys,
Will you please
absolutely,
be a
guys.
man? Will you please be a man?
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all like this before I keep reading. I also think she's saying you need to love yourself, man. Look, men don't travel in
Did
groups.
you say Nick?
She, you need to learn to love yourself, bro. You need to learn to love yourself. And I ain't talking about in that way. I'm talking about in general. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of men don't understand how hard it is to accept the role that ain't nobody supposed to be there to support you. And it was the hardest thing I had to learn. Nobody's there to support you. That's your job, right? That's your job. Joy Taylor, guys, is talking. Let me tell you why she's talking like this. Let me remind y'all. This is how they talk in the boardroom in corporate America. This is why some guy didn't get a promotion. This is why some guy didn't get the job that he thought he should have gotten. Because this is what they saw about him. And guess what they told that man to go do so he stopped feeling lonely and feeling sorry for himself. What did he tell the guy to do around? What did them executives tell him to do? Man, you over here thinking that this is something real when realistically it's just a transaction. from the
Is this
oldest
the Wolf of
profession in
Wall
the book.
Street? Is that what you're referring to?
Right, that's what. No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
oh, oh,
This is. She worked at Fox Sports One. She worked at Fox
oh,
Sports, and that's who she was accused of having the affair with. Was the guy who ran the talent
right.
department yeah. So here's what she said, guys. I think non-peak getting male loan leads are deteriorating society, and it is a massive problem. When asked on what the solution is, Taylor was clear. I think we should legalize the oldest profession in the book. I have been standing on this for decades, and I think that the oldest profession in the book should be legalized. They will never do this. But that I think would be a massive solve. Okay, y'all see the pictures, attractive girl. Y'all see it. We're gonna keep going through that. I don't see that. A surprised Van Lathan said that it was a temporary fix for male loneliness and asked if she had a longer term solution to combat the issue. See, guys, I'm gonna tell y'all like this, Ron. That's what I hate.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised Van Lathan. Why he's surprised? Y'all know why he's surprised?
Because he ain't getting
It's
them.
because he's no.
Oh.
He's not used to dealing with a woman who didn't got behind the scenes in the corporate boardrooms.
Mm.
You ain't surprised at what she said. You surprised at how did she know this?
Well, and then she said it out loud for everybody to
She
hear.
said it out loud. Guys,
Mm-hmm.
transactions used to be a thing. Transaction used to be a thing in the back in the booth in the corner of the dog.
Look, that may get Diddy off then.
Did it right now, guys? Y'all can go to my last video, freaky or
That may.
guilty, right? That was it. Freaky or guilty. That Diddy right now, he's freaky. But they ain't put on a good case that says he guilty of RICO. When you being charged with RICO, that look, y'all got to do a little bit better. Let me get through this, Ron. I know we already. It's not a simple solve, but I believe that straight male biology, and particularly men who have this sort of anger, is because they don't get physical intimacy. But they have convinced themselves that the type of physical intimacy they would like is their favorite orange corn star or their favorite only girl
Mm-hmm.
or this unattainable beauty on Instagram. Look at what she said, guys, who is never, ever, ever, ever going to meet you or F you or talk to you ever. I said, God, no. Right? So they
A
don't look
woman
for
knows when
physical.
something else
Yes.
gonna happen.
Right. Look, guys, for all the fellas listening to this, y'all are on social media, and what is she telling y'all? These women y'all thirsting over. Look at what she said. Who is never, ever, ever, ever going to meet you or F you or talk to you ever.
With your corny self. Mm-hmm.
But corny, lonely self. Right? Corny, lonely self. And I'm gonna say it, guys. I'm gonna say it. What she's trying to do is get y'all to focus on business. If you find yourself in this position where you're looking at girls on Instagram, you know, some of these subscription based websites or your adult sites, what she's saying is get your money up and you can have them because they ain't got no other reason to talk to you. Okay, so they don't look for the physical intimacy that is around them. They don't go to the local bar. They sit there scrolling. They think women are not responding to them because of feminism. Guys, Joy Taylor is going off because what she's saying is you sitting on your screen trying to blame women for everything that's going on. When realistically, those women are looking for masculine men. They know if you sitting there scrolling, you ain't doing business, right? Taylor recently made her confession about her ex drive in an episode of her own podcast with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
In the show, Bryant reveals that her libido is through the roof. In response, Taylor adds, "Every year I get older, I'm like, what am I going to do? I have to have sex every day, and I can't, and I'm not." She added, "It didn't used to be this way." Back in January, FS1 host was
Mm-hmm.
accused of having a relationship with the ex-NFL co-star Emmanuel Acho and network executive Charlie
Really?
Dixon to further her career. Yes,
Him?
Taylor was also alleged. Yes, oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
oh yeah.
Okay.
Taylor wasn't. See, Rhonda don't watch certain channels, y'all, so she probably ain't familiar with this. But Taylor was also alleged to have used her sexuality to get on the show when she sought a spot on Acho's program Speak. She denied each and every allegation against her. That's why we said, guys, all the things are alleged. But when you look at some of the actual court documents, hey, you know, if you walk like a duck, look like a duck, and quack like a duck,
Y'all
right?
men are so easy though. Lord have mercy. It don't take much.
Rhonda, I'm gonna tell y'all like
It don't
this,
take much.
fellas. A lot of guys get mad at me when I'm on this podcast talking about business. The worst thing that happened for men, the worst thing that happened for men is if women get behind the gates in high level business.
Why?
Because when men got to be convinced when they've been taught a lie originally. A woman get taught truth, she don't question it. She say, okay. When a woman is like is turning a jet ski. A man is like turning a cruise ship. Which one quicker? This
Yeah.
girl got with this, yeah, right. That jet ski can turn on a dime,
Well,
basically.
we internalize different things though, right? Like as being women and men, it's certain things that like I mean it shows in history, whether there's history in the Bible or just history, period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tell you like this though. Look, guys, I think Joe Taylor is right. I'm not saying it to bash men. I'm not saying it to elevate women. Joy Taylor is doing a podcast. Every podcast needs clicks. Joy Taylor is talking about something that most women in a professional setting like her wouldn't talk about. She is a forward-facing TV personality talking like this. It's like she know her days at Fox are numbered. And she like, I'm going to come over here and just be raw. I think after hearing her talk like this, that's why I know she was in those
Well,
boardrooms.
she should be, right? Because if you see other women who've been in positions like that, they just got the axe, bam, you gone. So
Mm-hmm.
so why not? Why not do
Well, guess what,
opposite?
guys? All right, Rhonda, what do you think when you hear me say, if she, I said I said in a podcast on my other channel, Jeff Sunday Service, and on my next episode, you're going to see me do a episode about family, uh, and why they're trying to incentivize people to have more babies. But I think Joy Taylor is getting into the mix of this thing that stop putting so much value on this thing called sex, because what she's telling you is you over here, you're over here liking, commenting, DMing this girl who is never, ever, ever, ever going to talk to you. Why won't she talk to you? Because those women are about business. You over here you're over here lonely, and
Looking for love,
you're
looking for somebody that like you.
you're looking for something that ain't real. What she's saying is go talk to a woman of business, get you some,
Mm.
now come back and start looking at how you're going to look at life. But if you keep trying to say, let me get on this dating app and try to find this person, and let me try to talk to this person, and let them know that I'm looking for companionship and all this kind of stuff. Guys, she said male loneliness. And then I started thinking about it. If a man get in a woman DM, it start with compliments. If a woman get into a man DM, it's to do some type of business. Like, did you think about it? If a man look, what's their Instagram reel? If a hot girl post a picture, the guy they're sleeping with, how he respond? He don't, right? The guy who's the
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend or the guy who's the boyfriend, he put some heart emojis under it. The
Mm-hmm.
guy who don't have a chance, you are the epitome of beauty. Good morning, beloved. Blah blah,
Oh,
all this
Lord.
stuff. And she looking at him, he get blocked.
Corny. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he get blocked. The male
Ready to be
loneliness.
true, ready to be
Yeah.
committed.
Mm-hmm. Guys,
And they like,
she
nah, man,
said
let me go over here and get cheated on. I'd rather do that.
male loneliness, guys. It's and everybody gonna be talking about the oldest profession in the world comment she made instead of the male loneliness comment that she made.
Yeah, the male loneliness stuck out to me the most. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that one stuck out to me the most.
Because here's what happens, guys. Growing up religious, guess what you're gonna get taught? I can't believe she said that. That's nasty. God didn't ordain it like that. Blah 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 blah. Guys, when you get a woman who understands business, that's exactly how she talks. Because that's what she realized. All this stuff you got taught about relationships is a lie. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you in the boardroom, here's what they teach you in corporate America, guys. Coming from a guy who's in corporate America, here's what they teach you in the boardroom. Get emotion out. Everything is business.
Yeah, and
Take emotion out.
WYD ain't gonna do it. WYD ain't gonna do
Absolutely. Absolutely,
it. It's
right?
not.
But everything is business, right? There is no emotion. So guess what, guys? Here's the deal. We got to think emotionless. If you in that boardroom, if you a high level business guy, we got to think emotionless. But we selling to people who are full of emotion. And what she told these males, y'all over here emotional because you ain't been taught the truth. And now you over here hoping that this businesswoman on these social media sites and paid subscription sites want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Come on, Ryan. I think she broke that thing down.
No, listen, I ain't mad at what she said. I mean, it's truth there to it. So it's not too much for me to disagree with, but I do believe people will, like you said, take it out of context and what they focus on with it. And it's probably because that's the space that they're in. They probably need to, as they say, rub one out or whatever, however people say it. I don't know if that's allowed, too late now. But you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Y'all know Rhonda tell me every time before we go hit record, I ain't gonna say this, I ain't gonna say. And I said, yeah, y'all. And here we go. I told her I couldn't. She did this
keyword.
podcast every week.
You know what I'm saying? And
She
I just
said,
learned that. I just learned that little phrase
she,
the other week. I was like,
well,
oh, that's what
but,
they talking about.
but that's Rhonda, that's what we're sitting here talking about. This is why I love doing the podcast with you, because you and I can have these conversations and there's nobody taking offense. Y'all got to understand, man. We were in the church every time it opened where we grew up. I know how people who are religious and traditional get taught. And then I got introduced to this thing called business. And then I got introduced to this thing called sales and marketing. And when sales and marketing, in order to be good at sales and marketing, you can't lie to yourself about how the prospect thinks. The prospect is emotional, you're logical. The prospect believes in emotional, you fake emotion. And when you realize it, I got guys in my comments. I get guys in my comment section, right? I did a video on Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And you can't put certain comments in YouTube or flag it. So now people just put the raccoon I had 5 raccoons in my comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they
Mm-hmm.
call me, right? What are they trying to get me to do? They're trying to get me to emotional, because emotional people stop. Logical people keep going, right? How can you call me that? Yeah, some people ain't going to agree with this. But
Oh, well.
I think Joy Taylor, Rhonda, Joy Taylor doing 2 things. She's going to make women flock to her, and she's going to hurt people in traditional relationships. She's going
Well,
to hurt people in traditional relationships.
but
What do you think about those
people
2
in
things?
traditional relationships lying already anyway, right?
But
Like,
Rhonda, but think about what you just said. I'm lying to myself, but if all of a sudden the things I'm lying about become mainstream and I can't hide it no more, I got a problem.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, Rhonda. Look, when you look, what's the hardest thing about hearing what Joy Taylor got to say? What would you say the hardest thing about hearing what Joy Taylor has to say about male loneliness?
Well, it's that they're lonely, and once again, women got to step in and fulfill something that
That they're not meant to see, that
they shouldn't have
they're
to
not meant
fulfill. That's probably the only thing. But no, I believe male loneliness is a real thing, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's the saddest part, is because these people may already be with someone, their spouse or their
Oh,
girlfriend or long-term partner, right? And they still lonely. So you might as well be single
Rhonda
out here.
just preached.
Don't do
Rhonda just preached, y'all. Rhonda just preached. It ain't single men that's reaching out to these women.
it. Yeah.
OnlyFans don't. I shouldn't say OnlyFans, but these subscription-based models,
Hmm.
these IG-based models, these social media-based models, it ain't single men doing it, guys. What Joy Taylor letting y'all know is that the men she's dealt with at the highest levels have all been in a relationship with somebody else. And do y'all know you looking at a liberated woman, and she's being attacked because if she opens Pandora's box, other women gonna hear this. Y'all got to remember, Cheyenne Bryant, that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant
Hmm.
was on Cam Newton's podcast and blasted him for having multiple babies by multiple women. But when Joy Taylor was on her show, no issues there. One of the things y'all gonna find is this: when women get liberated,
Hmm.
other women don't attack them. When men turn to business, other men attack them.
Women, look. Hopefully, these women ain't out here having babies and stuff. You know, hope.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ronnie, let me tell you this. Ronnie, I don't think none of these people. Ronnie, let me tell you this: if you ain't emotion based, you ain't having no baby.
but that's what I'm
If
saying.
you a
Because
perfect,
you ain't out here creating broken homes or
you ain't
whatever it
creating
was
broken
labeled.
homes because you realize it's just a transaction. And when you realize, guys, it's just a transaction, you ain't trying to have no. But if you've been taught emotion, if you've been taught traditionally, if you've been taught religiously, and it's an act of God, it's this and it's that. Now you
And it's precious,
compounding
and
your
all you want
loneliness.
to do
It's
is get
exactly. Don't
F.
say it. Don't say it.
I didn't say it.
You know, so now you done turned something that was transactional into you multiply your burdens. If you are having male loneliness, get with a
Hmm.
woman, y'all procreate. Now you've just given birth to more loneliness. Because guess what, guys? The scripture in the book of Jeremiah says what? Before you were in your mother's womb, I knew you. So where does life start? The life start in the loins of the man. If that man has male loneliness, Joy Taylor preaching the gospel. You need to go get that out somewhere transactionally. Don't create this. Don't recreate this. Don't procreate this.
But on the flip side of that too, though, with the loneliness, social media is going to make you lonely,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's why these. Well, I know we haven't talked about it yet. That's why these dolls are so important, man. These whatever they call them,
We
you
holding
know.
off on that podcast. These intimacy companions is
Yeah,
what they
okay.
call for
What you
YouTube
said.
purposes.
What you said. So
But
that's why
because
that's why
guess
they're
what?
going to be a big business. You should invest in that, by the way. And just put my
It is.
name,
It
somewhere on the
is.
paper.
But guess what, guys? It's already Ronnie right, but it's already big business. It's already big business, and because social media is selling fake companionship, and most people are happy with fake companionship, which is why they don't know how to interact with real
Absolutely.
companionship.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, guys, I'm gonna tell y'all like this: Joy Taylor, Joy Taylor need to be speaking at every women's retreat. If that women's retreat is about women's empowerment, this
Well, but she
girl
should
is.
also speak at men's retreat.
Guess what, guys? Let me tell you this. Let me tell you why she won't get invited to a men's retreat. Because the only people who are gonna sign up are males who are lonely.
Yeah.
And you
Because
and
the
here's
ones
the
who ain't
deal,
going to admit it ain't going to sign up.
right? Right. So here's the
Knowing
deal.
they lonely
She
and
don't need to be
struggling.
at a men's retreat. She don't need to be at a men's retreat, right, guys. Right? This is where I'm disagreeing with you a little bit. She done told you if you need to be over here doing this. I can't teach you nothing till you get this mess out of your system.
But
You
men,
got to
how
get that
often
wrong
do men
teaching.
fess up or say like, "Hey, like I
Let me tell
struggle
y'all
with
something
this
about.
or I struggle with
Let me tell y'all
that,"
something
or
about men. Let me tell y'all something about men. Men do that all the time if environments are safe spaces. Now, there's certain safe spaces you're gonna find men having conversations. One of them gonna be in the boardroom. Next thing gonna be if you see a male retreat, a business retreat. Next thing you're gonna see is a golf course, country club type environment. They gotta be protected. If a man is in a protected environment with other males of like mind, they can open up. But what's happening right now, and I think what Joy Taylor's saying is males are opening up to their mama, to their wife, to these other females. They're not learning how to be men. They're learning how to be more lonely. Because the female will listen to you, but the female gonna leave you and go get with a man that no business. See, what she's trying to tell y'all is,
hmm
if I'm telling y'all, I'm getting accused of being with Skip Bayless. I'm getting accused of being with Emmanuel Acho. I'm getting accused of being with the head guy at Fox Sports.
hmm
Let me tell you how these men think. Let me tell you how these men talk. And y'all thinking that physical profession, as she called it, the oldest profession in the world, y'all need to go get with them so y'all can think like these men. Because these men are who we want. Look how she talking like a dude. She talking like a dude. And then she understands what her style can get her. She understands what her style can get her, right?
Well, I mean, look, if that works for her, because it sounds like it is, um, that it is working for her. And but again, I think I would have an issue if she was out here not telling what it really is. But I think she hit some key points on all this stuff. And as it pertains to relationships, man, like I don't know anybody who, well, it ain't gonna say anybody, any woman. I ain't gonna say they mind being lied to, but they will typically take their man as he is if they're already in the marriage. Like, well, this is what it
Mm-hmm.
is. He's
Mhm.
he's good enough. He ain't great, but he's good enough, and he's a good man. But he could be a horrible husband, right? A horrible
And so
father.
right there, Rhonda just preached, right? If you a good man,
Yeah,
it's okay.
you'll stay a long time.
If you're a good man, it
Hmm.
doesn't necessarily being a good man versus being a good husband versus being a good father are three different things.
Hmm.
But neither one of those three will allow you to be lonely. Because if you've been taught loneliness, somebody has lied to you, right? If you look, guys, if you have been taught loneliness, if you go and again, and y'all might hear me do this on Jeff Sunday service. Why do we know King David? He said, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death." He walking by himself, but guess what he said? "I fear no evil. You with me?" Do y'all realize he's walking by himself? I don't fear no evil. Why? Because
Hmm.
that's why we got to go watch that movie Sinners. We talked about this thing, Ron.
Oh no, man, the word sinners ain't gonna, you know. Everybody
Yea, though
should
I
go
walk
watch
through the
that.
valley, yea, though I walk through the valley, you are with me. It's
Hmm.
the valley of death, but you with me. Why am I lonely? And a lot of people are like, "Man, you weren't there for me, man. You didn't care that I was." What you mean?
Why you
If
sound like
you going
somebody
through,
in our family? But go ahead.
man, if you going through something, y'all, what you got to learn. We talked about it last week. Well, fight against flesh and blood. You fighting against spiritual wickedness. So if
Every
I know I'm
time.
fighting against spiritual wickedness, okay, cool. It ain't about somebody else going through it with me. I gotta go through it myself. Even the old folk at the church tell you, you got to know the Lord for yourself. I can't do it for you. You got to
Hmm.
know Him for yourself.
Sure
Jump
do.
in there, Ron. Let me know jump in and let me know that I'm over here preaching. Y'all go
Yeah,
ahead.
I
Make sure
know.
y'all follow
This
Just
Jeff
Understand.
Sunday service. I guess I'm just a guest
Mm-hmm.
minister.
Don't say that. People gonna get on you. You say you.
Oh
Yeah,
well.
I think called an
I don't
internet
look. I
fake
don't know them
pastor
people.
already.
I don't know them people. So
Hey, stop right there. Stop right there. She just preached. Ronnie just preached. Y'all see what she said? I don't know these people. For all y'all who get in the comments, you know exactly what you're doing. You want people to care about what you say. You're one of those people who
yeah.
have loneliness and you're commenting on videos emotionally and attacking the person who putting out content. The person who putting out content don't care about your personal attack. It's
Mm-mm.
content. Jump in
Yeah.
there, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, and they really talk about
I'm over here
themselves,
preaching.
but okay,
Yeah, I'm over here preaching.
it's just what it is. All I know is people have kept their head in the sand long enough on a lot of different issues. And we're talking about centuries later where people are holding on
Mm-hmm.
to things that don't even apply
Mm-hmm.
in this world anymore. And it's again, you don't want something, of course nothing against somebody's will or anything like that, but you do have to look at, hey, you know what? It's they come home, hey, let's try this different. Let's do this. We go, or they just slip up and do it, right? Like let's see what happens,
Yes.
whatever, right? And people ain't down with that. They got to know what
Mm-hmm.
they got to know what you gonna do sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not being open with your partner, whether it's about your social life, how y'all are with each other, like all the things.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving
Mm-hmm.
past today and I saw a place right by my house that said axe throwing. I was like, oh, that'd be cool to do, right? But that's something I would go do by myself. But a lot of people are like, oh no,
Mm-hmm.
you'll do that by yourself? No. And you said that to me years ago. Ronnie, no, you still go sit at the bar.
You
Still
got to
go
go
sit
by
at the bar
yourself.
by yourself. Mm-hmm.
You got to go by yourself, guys. Like if you ain't trying to go to that place by yourself, how you think you're gonna be a good companion to go with somebody else?
Yep.
Man, I roll everywhere by myself. I roll everywhere by myself. So when you walk in there with me, you're gonna be like, yeah, I done already figured it out. Until you learn to be by yourself, you don't need to be liking nobody posts. You don't need to be liking nobody posts. 'Cause let me tell y'all
Or
this how this
commenting
works.
on nobody's post.
Let me tell y'all how it works. If it's somebody you like, let me give y'all a little bit of game. Let me
Oh
give y'all a little bit of
Lord.
game. If it's somebody you like, don't like the post. If it's somebody you like, they put a bomb ass picture out there.
They
Don't like it.
lonely. They lonely. They gonna
Rhonda,
like
but
the
no, no,
post.
no.
They probably even
But
love
you
it
can't like it.
or do the care
Let me tell
button.
y'all. Or they got their burner account doing it, right? But don't like it. Don't like it. Y'all know how people are wired. I'm looking for the person who didn't like the post. So if you the male lonely,
I know he's seen it. I know he's seen it.
this my killer outfit. If he ain't like it,
Yes.
Let me text him and
My
ask him
green
why he ain't
M&M
like
and
my pudding.
everything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want y'all to see this thing because what Joy Taylor is telling y'all to do, males who are lonely, what she's telling you to do, everything you believe about relationships is a lie. That's why you're not getting a response. Because every woman you like is a businesswoman. That's why she's good at creating content and good at getting you roped in emotionally while she just getting your subscription. She getting that advertising dollars from her click. You not talking business. You over here living in a fairy tale world. That's what Joy Taylor is telling you. You can't talk to this woman because this is a businesswoman, and business women don't deal with men who don't do business.
Yeah.
That's all she's saying, Ron. You got guys who still believe in some lie, even though all the information tells you what it's about. All the information is telling you what it's about. We got
Mm-hmm.
taught wrong about flesh and blood. I'm gonna use it like that. That's what I say on my Jeff Sunday service. Everything you got taught about flesh and blood was wrong.
Yeah.
You didn't kill it. You didn't get it sprung. You wasn't the best she ever had.
Won't ever
Right?
be. Mm-hmm.
What? Right? You have to realize that. Damn, everything is business, guys. We live in a capitalistic society. If you want that woman on social media, on the paid subscription sites, guess what you got to do? Guess what offer you got to make? And you got to make it so you don't violate the law, right? If you want that woman, you got to make it. You got to talk business. She get comments from everybody. She
Mm-hmm.
get likes from
You
everybody.
gotta
She get
stand out.
emojis from everybody.
You
You
gotta
got to
be
stand on
different.
business.
Mm-hmm.
You got to stand on business. And if you ain't standing on business, why she gonna waste her time? Riley, what's your takeaway tonight as we get ready to get out of here?
Man, WYD ain't gonna get it. Grand Rising, Good Morning Queen, that ain't gonna get it. But seriously, man, look, go talk to somebody about that loneliness. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing to play with. But no,
Mm-hmm.
step your business up. Don't step your game
Mm-hmm.
up. Step your business up, and you'll see
Business
some
set.
different results. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad Rhonda said that. My takeaway is simple, guys. You lonely. You're lonely because you don't know your purpose. If you knew your purpose, you'll never be lonely. You'll never be bored with yourself. You'll never be fantasizing over a fake image on social media because that person you liking and falling in love, that's their alter ego. Okay, that's their alter ego. It's no different, y'all. I live in Tampa. A lot of celebrities live in Tampa, and when you see them in public, they don't want to be bothered. What does that tell you? They over there talking to people private. They in a private room, all that kind of stuff. They don't want to be
hmm
bothered. But you are over here in a public setting thinking you're making an impact. Guys, because that celebrity or that person you like, that's their job.
hmm
So what I'm trying to tell her, if you lonely, it's because you don't have business. Ronnie just said it. Step your business up. Now all of a sudden that woman you're fantasizing over on social media, on the paid subscription pages, she gonna start liking your stuff.
hmm
She gonna start liking your stuff. And guys, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. All Joy Taylor is telling you is what you got taught about intimacy, intercourse. It's just a transaction. Don't make it more than what it is. She is accused of using that same transaction to get a promotion. And now look at her. Go on YouTube and type in Joy Taylor and see how everybody's talking to her. What does that mean she making? But
hmm
guess what? She also telling you something that's going to actually contradict your tradition. And because we're in the information age and because we're in the digital media age, guys, your tradition can't lie to you no more. Notice you don't see churches talking about what Joy Taylor's talking about. They still try to tell you about. They still trying to tell you about, some old story that your great grandfather got taught
and it's
that didn't
taboo.
work for him,
hmm
and it's taboo. So
hmm
guys, what she trying to let you know is minimize that thing. Don't make it such a big deal. Because if you thinking it's a big deal and you think it's gonna be some prize, it's not. You are making a big deal out of something that you can go pay for. Guys, you don't brag about buying an orange. An orange is in every grocery store. That's what she's basically letting you know.
Unless it's
Stop
Sprouts.
maximizing.
hmm
Well, that's true. Don't maximize the intercourse.
hmm
Maximize your ability to do business, man. And y'all know what it is. It's Smoke Something Drink Up podcast. I'm the real cigar Jeff, man. Y'all do me a favor. Get down in the description section. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Support the channel. Share this with a family member. Share this with a friend. follow us on the social. Make sure you follow me on my other channel, Jeff Sunday Service. Make sure if you got a special shout out, you want to send somebody, hook me up on Cameo. We'll get that out to you. I got to thank my resident relationship expert before we get out of here, Ron, and let them know where they can find you on socials.
On Instagram at RMBLMBT.
Man, and y'all know what it is. And until next time, we gonna holler.
Pop it, smoke it, drink it down. With your voice, it got Jeff around. Feel the vibe, we're set to roll. Press play, let's lose control. Sip a drink and smoke will swirl. Join the convo around the world. Relationships we dissect slow. Current events, we let them flow.